Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam series. Thank you for joining. And we will start with Maṅgalācaraṇa. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ओके Okay. So we will resume our discussion of the Sudāmā episode. I'll move this a little bit this side. Just it's not in the way. So we covered the portion where, oh, let's do our invocation of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam verses first. Our obeisances to Sri Parikshit Maharaj and Sri Shukadev Goswami and Sri Suta Goswami and Shaunakadi Rishis. You can repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudiraet.
ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
अष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भवति उत्तमः श्लोके
भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके
फिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी
फिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी।
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय
देवकी नंदनाय च
देवकी नंदनाय च
गोपकुमाराय
नन्दगोपकुमाराय
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः.
गोविन्दाय नमो नमः।
Thank you. So, let's resume where we left off. So where we had left off was, so I'll share my screen. So we will start from text number 27. So what happened so far? What happened so far is that Sudāmā ji is in Dwarka now, and last discussion was very sweet. I think the whole pastime last 6 or 7 verses, where Sri Krishna worshipped Sudāmā ji. And it was like the sun was rising from the west, that Bhagavan was worshipping a devotee in exactly the same way that devotee worships Bhagavan. He did complete, first he made him sit on his own throne. So where Sri Krishna was sitting in his bed, and then Sri Krishna washed his feet with water. He first of all brought all the paraphernalia himself, washed his feet. All his queens also washed his feet. Then he took that water and put it on his head. So who is Sri Krishna, who is devotee, is completely blurred. Who is Bhagavan, who is Bhakta, the whole thing is completely mixed up in this moment. And then he brought all the paraphernalia for the arti, for the archana, and did very nice archana or arti of Sudāmā ji. All the while Mother Rukmini was fanning Sudāmā ji. So she was doing paricharya or assisting the pujari, in this case pujari being Sri Krishna, in worshipping Sudāmā ji. And Sudāmā ji was such a weak person with torn clothes. So he didn't give him a change of clothes. So there was a reason also we discussed for that, because he did not want to give anything to Sudāmā ji to take back. So, because if he would have given new clothes, then at least that he would take back with him. You're wearing those clothes and you would like, So he did not, except for giving him new clothes, he gave him everything, all the nice things, dhoop, chamara, deep, all those things, and very nicely worshipped Sudāmā ji. And even his queens worshipped him. So all this happened. And of course, before that, as soon as Sudāmā ji appeared in the palace, Lord Krishna jumped out of his bed and immediately went and hugged or embraced Sudāmā ji, and embraced for a very long time. And we also discussed one point, I'm just remembering from the previous class, why was Krishna embracing but Sudāmā ji was reluctant? Because the bones of Sudāmā ji would hurt Krishna. He was so skinny and so bony, so to say. So if you have ever hugged a person with no muscles or no fat, you would realize that, it hurts. All their bones hurt, right? So Sudāmā ji was a little reluctant, but Sri Krishna kept hugging Sudāmā ji. And everybody was so surprised. And then there was also this scene of the others who were watching. They were surprised that who is this person? He's looking so shabby and so downtrodden. And it's not that they are, never seen any guest come to the palace. As opulent as Brahmaji and Indra come to the palace. Indra is the most opulent. Brahmaji is not as opulent. He is very, position-wise, he is very high. Indra is the most opulent. And they have also seen the sort of the raggish people. Who are they? The topmost among them? Huh? Yeah, Lord Shiva. But they know his position. So it's not like the position is lost, even if the external appearance. But who is this person who is neither opulent, neither has any position, is so downtrodden, so skinny? Now, Shivaji is not skinny. He's very strong. He's like, as beautiful. Only his external garments, or his, not just garments, but his appearance is very is very shabby, not downtrodden, but very unkept. But he is extremely beautiful and extremely strong. I mean, Lord Shiva is Bhagavan. So that difference is there. Sudāmā is not strong. He's and he's so weak, and he's so perspiring from sweat, and his feet are like with all the kya bolenge, chale, sores on the feet, because he had no shoes. He's so poor, he had no shoes, and he's walking from such a long distance. So his feet are all swollen and blood is coming. All those things are there, but they have never seen Sri Krishna become so excited to see such a person. And they have never seen, all the demigods and Brahmaji and all would wait for hours outside for Sri Krishna to meet him. And here Sri Krishna runs full speed to embrace Sudāmā. So this is the a complete shock. And then in the last few verses, we saw how the servants of the palace were wondering, who is this person that we have never seen Sri Krishna give so much, or have so much love for such a person. So that's where we had ended. Now, Sri Krishna, so that was the Sri Krishna's dasya mood, like a servitude. He was serving Sudāmā, and now converts to sakhya mood. So now he also comes and sits on the same chair or the same bed or wherever, that sitting place, and they both hold hands and they begin talking. So they talk for a very long time, and we'll get a small glimpse. Now, Bhagavatam, even though Bhagavatam is so big, occupies a whole shelf, but Bhagavatam, if you read each chapter, it is so condensed. It's like in 7-8 verses, the worship of Sudāmā is over. I don't know, when I was reading, I wished it went on for 40-50 verses at least, so we could get the mood and all the details. Now there'll be like about 10-12 verses of the conversation between Sudāmā and Sri Krishna. That's too less, I feel. I would like to hear, a whole, few chapters at least on all the things they discussed. So even though Bhagavatam appears so big, actually it is very compressed, very small, or very tiny. So that is why we want to hear from Acharya's commentaries, and all the other sources of these pastimes. So many saints have visualized these pastimes in their samadhi and have written more and more and more. So all these things we should try to go into and try to relish. So we will start from verse number 27 today, where they start talking or discussing. So we will see from 27. Okay. So 27 onwards. Kathayam chakratur gatha purva gurukule sato atmanor lalita rajan karau grihya parasparam. So karau grihya parasparam. So what is kara? Kara means hands. Grihya, they held parasparam, each other's. So they held each other's hands, last line. So they held each other's hands. Okay. And Kathayam Chakratur Gatha. So all these Gatha, when two old friends meet, Gatha means, it says in the word by word topics, but I would like to say more like memories, going down memory lane. Kathayam Chakratur. Chakratur means they started discussing, or do you remember this? Do you remember that? Purva Gurukule Satoho, of their association in the Gurukul. So after the Gurukul, it seems that they were not in touch. So that was the time when they were together. And that is where their bonding occurred, in the Gurukul. Atmanor Lalita Rajan, and their about themselves, Atmanor. Lalita means, the meaning is very sweet, very full of, like, do you remember this? Do you remember all the the icing on the cake or whatever? They have had such a nice association of each other and the things to remember within that. So they are the Lalita aspects. My dear Rajan, so this is what Shukadev Goswami is telling to Parikshit Maharaj. So Shukadev Goswami is saying that this is what they started doing now. They started going down memory lane and started discussing some very, very, all the things that they discussed. Now we will discuss about only one pastime, which is when they were lost in the forest. But we will see what Sri Krishna says at that point. So there were many such instances. Okay. And Karau Grihya Parasparam, this has a very, very huge significance. Please remember this, that they held each other's hand and started discussing. So this holding each other's hand has a very special, sweet significance between these two wonderful friends. So, okay. Can someone read the translation? Suryanarayan Prabhu, how are your eyes doing?
Fine, Guruji. Prabhuji.
Yeah, can you read?
Yeah. Taking each other's hands, O King, Krishna and Sudāmā talked pleasantly about how they once lived together in the school of their Guru. Thank you.
So then we go to verse number 28. So they started discussing. The discussion about the school will begin. But first, Sri Krishna. So now the scene is changing. Shukadev Goswami is obviously narrating, but now we go to Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. So now we go from the second scene to, like, flashback. Shukadev Goswami is the present tense, and then now we go into the other, story within story. Okay. Api Brahman Gurukulad Bhavata Labdha Dakshinat Samavrittena Dharma-jña Bharyodha Sadrishinava. So here we can see a word bharya. Bharya means wife. So Sri Krishna first asks that after leaving from the Gurukula, Api Brahman Gurukula, my dear Brahman, after leaving the Gurukula, Bhavata Labdha Dakshinat. So which means after giving Dakshina. So giving of Dakshina is considered like the formal ending. Once Dakshina is giving, that's the last activity you do. And that's like your, convocation, or here we receive a degree because Dakshina we give to universities every month. It's like a kind of different system where you have to, unless you give, you will not get. The Guru never gives with a promise or with any expectation. So he just gives freely, without any promise, without any expectation, without any set remuneration. So that used to be the system, and that is why the Guru used to take a vow of poverty. Now, of course, the purpose is to instill as we will see, these good qualities within the shishya. So, and this section today that we are entering is the topic. If we were to do like a standalone discussion on this topic, is Guru Shishya Sambandha. So this whole topic today is so it's a little bit away from Sudāmā and Krishna, the core pastime of love between them, but it is about Guru and Shishya. Very important topic as well. And this is directly from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And there are many such topics within Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam about the sambandha of Guru and Shishya. But very surprisingly, it appears in the 10th canto also. And this is one of the very few, if not the only places within the 10th canto where this Guru Shishya is coming up, topic is coming up very beautifully, and we will see all the nice points about Guru Shishya Sambandha. And very practical for us, very, very practical, because many of us have, you know, have a Guru in our lives. So, sorry, where was I? So yeah, after giving dakshina, which means after, till that I was with you, till that time I was with you, Krishna is saying, because then we parted ways. So that was like the last time, when you see your friends, I don't know, for me it was true, you know, more or less. Convocation time is the last time when we see. And then if we meet some, but that was the last time when we met everyone. So after that, what happened? Samavrittena dharma-jña. This also has very important significance. Dharma-jña, he is calling, Sri Krishna is calling Sudāmā ji as dharma-jña. Bharyodha sadrishi na va. So did you find or did you marry Udhya? Udhya means to marry. And sadrishi means a suitable. So did you marry a suitable wife? And another question here, na va. What is na va means? Or not. Now it seems very... So these are some sweet points from the verses that we can see. Bhagavatam also is little encoded. Acharyas bring out these, they just go into it and do like a surgery and bring out these nice points. So he could have asked, hey, did you get married? So after college or after whatever, you may meet somebody and you may ask, hey, did you get married? What's the meaning of that? Let's say, and again, you're meeting not after 50 years or in today's terms, but what would be the meaning? Did you get married? And if somebody says no, so what is the meaning? If somebody says no, I would say that it means not yet. It's an accepted norm within society that everybody will get married. So if somebody says no, okay, you know, have you not met anyone yet? Or did something happen and you like were married or didn't work out or something like that? But the expectation is that if not now, sooner or later, one will get married, correct? But here, na va, or not. What this is indicating is that did you get married or did you choose to stay unmarried? There may be a very small percentage of such people who may just say, you know, I'm not going to get married. I'll just stay as it is. So, of course, Sri Krishna is omniscient. He knows everything. But then there can be no Bhagavatam. You see, if we know Krishna is omniscient, and if all the devotees in the Bhagavatam also knew Krishna is omniscient, would there be any Bhagavatam? there would be no Bhagavatam. Take any instance, there would be really no Bhagavatam, because then they would know somehow or the other Bhagwan will fix the situation. And many times even Bhagwan needs protection. So why would Bhagwan need protection if he's Bhagwan? So all these things kind of get in the way. So one does not, even when Sudāmā is being asked this question, that did you get married or not, one thing I kept, you should know. So he would like, it wouldn't make sense, or he would laugh at being asked such a question. But anyway, that is a separate point. So, but he's asking this because he knows that Sudāmā is such a Brahman person, or basically he's already self-realized. Okay. And for a self-realized person, or like a, rishi or somebody, they don't need to get married. They are not getting into all these varnashram. Right? So he's asking, did you get married or did you not? Or did you, which means na va means, did you choose to stay unmarried? That's not a question that's not a question you would ask to a person who is a little bit more worldly. So what is being indicated here is that Sri Krishna is expressing his understanding that Sudāmā ji is already fully self-realized, or he is above all these things of sense gratification. Now, Grihastha life is considered for sense gratification, partly. That yes, you can have some sense gratification. The purpose is making spiritual progress, but along with a family, along with some, some grihasthi. So that is, did I convey properly what is being asked here? I felt I'm kind of going in circles, but is the point clear? That he is in fact conveying to Sudāmā ji that I know you are such a high class Brahman, you understand what is the spiritual life, you understand the goal of life. So I'm asking, did you go the marriage direction, or did you go the sort of like the vanaprastha or sannyas direction? Which direction did you take? That's the point. Okay. Also, another point which our acharyas have brought out, Sri Sridhar Swami, and is that it's like a satire, ताना मारते हैं ना कैसे, tease. He knows that he is married. क्या भाई तुम्हारी बीवी तुम्हारा देखभाल नहीं करती क्या? मतलब he's such a, his clothes are torn, his, like he's in such a bad shape. So did you not get married? Now a bachelor may not take care of himself. We know that. If you go to a bachelor's room in whatever, it will look completely, crazy. Now when you get married, the wife comes and makes it, nice, and orderly. So he's asking like, why you're looking so shabby? Don't you have a wife who would like keep you in a proper situation, a better situation? It's like a friendly tease to Sudāmā. So that's another angle to this whole thing. Okay, but the main reason is that Sri Krishna is asking that where did you go? And there is a deeper reason which will come up in the very next verse. So that's a very sweet reason that Sri Krishna will say. Okay, let's see. Makarand Prabhu, can you please read the translation? You are muted.
Yeah. The Supreme Lord said, my dear Brahmana, you know well the ways of dharma. After you offered the gift of remuneration to our Guru and returned home from his school, did you marry a compatible wife or not?
Okay, thank you. Now, 29th verse. Prayo griheshu te chittam akama vihitam tatha naivati priyase vidvan dhaneshu viditam hime. So now Sri Krishna increases the temperature, so to say, or he enhances the point he was making. So he says that Prayo griheshu te. So prayah means more or less, but here it means for namesake. More or less, like can I say, Mataji, Padyali, more or less you are a householder. Does that make sense? Either you are or you are not, right? So more or less means really doesn't make sense here. It's like, yeah, more or less I am healthy. Maybe fine, I have some stomach problem or some neck problem, but more or less that makes sense. But more or less you are a grihastha is not a proper, it doesn't make sense. So therefore it means for namesake, naam ke liye. Just for name you are a grihastha. Chittam akama vihitam tatha. But your mind, your chitta, your heart is akama vihitam. Means it is absorbed not in kama, but in akama. So again, the mentality or the point being conveyed here is that a grihastha is a little bit has a desire for some sense gratification. That is the meaning of grihastha. So even though namesake or externally you are or appear like a grihastha, which means you have a wife, but your mind is completely akama, has no desire for any sense gratification. Now, Sri Krishna is simply confirming this. There's a nice reason for this, which Sri Jiva Goswami brings out. Then he says, Naivati priyase vidvan dhaneshu viditam hime. So, Naivati priyase vidvan dhaneshu. That means viditam hime means I know. Viditam means to know. He may. I know this. What does Krishna is confirming? I know that धन के लिए तुम्हारे मन में कोई प्रेम नहीं है. In your heart there is no love for wealth. Okay, so naiveti priyase vidvan dhaneshu. So which means you have no attraction for any wealth or anything that is material in your heart. Okay, following? So Sri Krishna is basically confirming what Sudāmā or the heart of Sudāmā ji. And that is true. Sudāmā ji has nothing to do with anything material. Sudāmā ji is completely absorbed in Sri Krishna. Now, so comparing it to the previous verse, that did you get married or did you stay like this? So yes, he got married. But that marriage is for namesake. I mean, it's not like he disrespects his wife, but it's not for sense gratification that he got married. It's mainly, and this will get revealed in the next verse which is coming. So why did he get married? But for now, there is another nice thing, that naiveti priyase vidvan dhaneshu. So Sri Krishna is saying that I know that you have no attraction for any wealth. So 2 points Sri Krishna is conveying. First of all, he is letting Sudāmā ji know that your daridrata, your poverty is not lost on me. I know you are very poor. And also he is saying you don't want any wealth. Now, 2 things within that. First of all, if at all Sudāmā ji might get an idea, now he has been prepared by his wife very nicely, but he said, I will not ask for wealth, but at least that conversation occurred between him and his wife. Now, even if Sri Krishna gives, now this was the thing, if Sri Krishna gives, you don't ask. Maybe if he gives, then you don't refuse, don't. And he also said, if you remember from previous discussions, maybe Sri Krishna is not in Dwarka, he has gone somewhere. Says, okay, doesn't matter. His relatives, his loved ones are there. They will give. They are all very pious, very nice devotees. They will give to a Brahmana. The moment they see a Brahman, they will give wholeheartedly. He said he will not ask, but by saying this, Sri Krishna is preempting that Sudāmā ji will definitely not even ask and not even expect and not even accept, even if given. So he's completely cutting it. You have no interest. The only example that I kind of came to my mind is like this, no? Like in old Hindi movies or something. You go to some officer for some sifarish, for getting a job. And the moment you go there, अरे आप तो कितने सत्यवान हैं, you are such a truthful person, you will never do any, just like saying, not knowing why he has come, but all these things are below you. You will never do such a thing. You will never. Now, what is that? What is happening to that person? Nipping it in the bud, isn't it? He's like, even if he was going to ask, now he will think 10 times, oh my God, how can I ask now? He thinks so highly of me. How can I ruin my reputation by doing exactly what he is not expecting from me? By becoming such a unbecoming person in his eyes. Are you following? So Sri Krishna is kind of preempting any such thought in the mind of Sudāmā ji. Now, this is a sort of the lighter reason. The deeper reason is that Sudāmā ji is actually worried that what if Sri Krishna gives, I really don't want anything. Whole life I have not asked anything. Now I am here. If he gives, what should I do? So that anxiety is there. So this is the real reason. Sri Krishna, Mataji, idhar aa jaiye, kyun itna, it's kind of getting cold. There is no Lakshman Rekha here. And I am not Ravan. So, what was I saying? Huh? Yeah. So Sudāmā ji had anxiety. How should I respond if Krishna gives? Right? Because declining also is not nice. Bhagwan is giving, and here there is no naratva here. You can see this. There is absolutely no naratva. There is full understanding that he is Bhagwan. And even Bhagwan knows that he is Bhagwan, and Sudāmā also knows he is Bhagwan. Nothing is lost on each other. Unlike in Vraja, where both don't know anything. So here both know everything. And giving some wealth is nothing for Bhagwan. Lakshmi ji is sitting right next to him. She is fanning Sudāmā. What more is to be said? So Sudāmā is very anxious. Even if he gives a little bit, how can I decline? And I am not going to ask, but is he waiting for me to ask? He also knows Krishna does not give without asking. Krishna never gives without asking. Okay? But he is sort of in that anxiety, and Krishna in this verse puts to rest all such anxiety. He is saying, I know that you don't need it. So he's telling you will, neither am I. I know you will not ask, and don't worry, I'm not going to give. So let's be nice friends. Let's not ruin our beautiful friendship from old times by this anxiety of, give and take. Let's take all give and take and put it out of the window. Let not give and take in this relationship or come in the midst of our wonderful time that we are going to have with each other as friends. So now that friendship bhav will flow fully, having taken care of this aspect. Don't worry, I'm not going to give. Okay? So now we will see the friendship part flowing. Is that clear? Okay. Let us see. Shri Murari Prabhuji, can you read this translation? Meera Mataji, can you read?
Hare Krishna. Even though you are mostly involved in household affairs, your mind is not affected by material desires. Nor, O learned one, do you take much pleasure in the pursuit of material wealth. This I am well aware of.
So Sri Krishna is saying this. This came in the previous one, Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Right? So Bhagavan is saying these words. Now, so remember the question was why or did you get married or not? Right? That's where it started. And he says, I know you are not interested in kama or sense desires or wealth, dhana or anything like that. So, and he knows you got married. So why does he get married? So Shri Krishna goes on and explains that as well as to why Sudāmā got married. Okay. So verse number 30. Kechit kurvanti karmani kamairahata chetasaha tyajyantah prakriti daivir yathaham loka sangraham. So what is the reason for getting married? Loka sangraha. What does loka sangraha mean? Huh? What do you mean for the sake of? How does society care if you got married or not? Okay, loka sangraha means to set an example or to instruct the society that even though or to show how a good grihastha life can be led. Because most people, it's not like vanaprastha or sannyas or not getting married. First of all, another point that was made, which I missed, is that after dakshina is given, remember that after dakshina, so that is the end of brahmacharya. That is also the indicator of, it's like same thing, convocation. Abhi convocation ho gaya, abhi then the next thing, abhi job laga ki nahi laga. And you know, so like now what? Okay. So your study is done. Now, if you're saying, no, yeah, I'm waiting, then you think like, array, he's like a, you know, he's na idhar ka na udhar. Either you are in school or you're in a job. That's how the world thinks, right? If you're in the middle, then say, you know, he's like trying. That the varnashram term for that is anashrami. Anashrami means you are not in any ashram. So once you are done with your brahmacharya, then you are expected to enter into grihasthashram. Not everybody will take to bhakti or take direct sannyas or something like that. So to teach most of the people how to make spirit, and varnashram is not just for sense gratification. Varnashram is to make spiritual progress also. So the main purpose of varnashram is to make spiritual progress. So how staying in grihasth life one can make spiritual progress, that is the setting of the example. To set that example, Sri Krishna is confirming, I know you took or you married to set an example. So I actually ended up explaining the whole thing, but let's go line by line quickly. Kechit kurvanti karmani. So some people, kechit kurvanti karmani, they do these activities kamair ahata chetasaha. So kama without, or ahata means with no attachment of their mind or heart, chetasaha. So cheta means heart or the mind, ahata. So with their mind not at all disturbed by kama. Yet they perform worldly activities. Now worldly activities create attachment, we know that. But there are some people who, even though they appear, this is pure Bhagavad Gita verse kind of thing, right? Doing your activities without getting attached. 5th chapter, the whole 3rd, 4th, 5th chapter kind of combined. That do your activities without getting attached to the activity or even to the, not even to the result, not even the activity itself. Like a drop of water on a petal of a lotus. So the lotus petal doesn't get wet. Tyajyantaha prakritir daivir, giving up all the tyajyantaha, all the forceful maya, daivi. Maya is called as daivi. So this daivi is maya. Where have we heard this? Daivi maya, daivi esha gunamayi, mama maya duratyaya. So tyajyantaha prakriti, this prakriti daivi. This prakriti daivi means the energy of Bhagwan in the material world is maya. So that is the maya. So tyajyantaha, completely giving up all the attractions that maya shows us. So one does these activities in the material world, but with complete detachment, not getting attracted to or not getting disturbed by, not getting deviated by all the things that maya kind of flashes in front of their eyes, but for one reason, yatha aham loka sangraham. So loka sangraha, for setting an example, yatha aham, just like me. Remember in Bhagavad Gita, there is where Bhagwan says, yad yad acharati shreshthas. And after that, next verse is, even I do worldly activities, because if I did not do them, then people would, not learn at all. Or if I were to not set an example, which means I would set a bad example, people would take that example very quickly. People learn from bad examples much quicker than they learn from good examples. So Bhagwan takes on setting a good example. So again, here we are seeing the Aishwarya aspect of Bhagwan. Bhagwan is directly saying, as Bhagwan, I also do these activities, worldly activities. He had not one, not two, 16,000 wives. But Bhagwan was completely detached from all of them. There was no sense of worldly attachment. So all this is to instruct or set an example for the world. So for Loka Sangraham. Okay. So Bhagwan is saying this to Sudāmā ji. So he's completely confirming Sudāmā ji's mindset that this is, I know that you are doing or apparently engaging in all these activities, even the marriage that you did and everything is only for Loka Sangraha. And Sudāmā ji was actually very famous for being a very renounced Brahmana. Even though he is in Grihastha, he was very renounced, and that is why when even as a Grihastha, one of the activity of a Brahmana is to go and beg. People didn't used to give him. Okay, now it is said that he was so poor because people didn't used to give. Another reason why would people not give? Were people so heartless? Why would they not give? That they didn't even have like some rice or something. That's why his wife had to go and actually beg to get those 4 mushti of tandula, broken rice. So they did not have anything in their home. So why people, even when they would go begging, why would they not give? Are they heartless? No. The reason is because they know that he's just doing this as an activity. He is not expecting to be given any alms. So very reluctantly, they would hold off. That he is not expecting, he really wants to go as deep as possible into poverty and put his full focus on Bhagavan. So that is the reason why they did not give. That's one of the aspects to understand why the people did not give alms to Sudāmā ji. Otherwise, these days, Brahmanas or those who beg are actually one of the richest people. Because when you see that people are so, at least even externally or even internally, they become like, they get so much, all the big people come and they will shower so much wealth on you. Then you get to have big cars and big houses and travel in first class in aeroplanes and all those things. So career-wise, it's a very lucrative career. Very profitable. So people knew that that's not the direction Sudāmā ji wants to go in. And therefore, they did not give, they did not encourage that propensity within Sudāmā. Okay. So these are some of the points from this verse. Okay. Let us see. Is Shilpa Mataji on the call? Or Anu Mataji, can you read, one of you? Or Mansi Ganga Mataji?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Having renounced all material propensities which spring from the Lord's illusory energy, some people execute worldly duties with their minds undisturbed by mundane desires. They act as I do to instruct the general populace. Thank you, Prabhuji.
आगे आ जाइए और आगे आ जाइए, कोई कष्ट नहीं, और आगे आ जाइए, आराम से कारपेट पे बैठिए. You can open the chair also if anybody wants. Please open the chair. And children, no need to take away anywhere. Just be here. Let them hear. Even the Bhagavatam verses will go in their ears. They say like. So it's not about what I am saying, it's about Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam verses will go in their ears. All right. So 30 is done. Then 31. So I don't know if we can finish this today. I'm going a little slower than planned. So now the topic of Gurukul comes. So having established this, so again, the point is that Sri Krishna has put aside this concern of Sudāmā-ji, that he is even this much, he is acknowledging that I know that you are not interested in any material wealth. So Krishna, kya ho raha hai? So Krishna is confirming that I am not going to bring up this topic. Don't worry. Just let's be our good old friends. So now the friendship begins, friendship talk. Imagine you have met your college friend after 30 years, 40 years. Then, 2-3 night outs. You'll keep talking about all the things that were. I was talking to my such friend yesterday itself for 1 hour on the phone. She had gone to do some Damodar program. He's in India. It was my Friday night, his Saturday morning. So peaceful, I'm not getting, looks from her that, why you... Yeah, anyway, I'm just joking. So I had very nice talk with him for an hour and caught up on all the things. So just a very pleasant feeling. So friendship talk begins. Kachid gurukule vasam brahman smarasi no yataha dvijo vigyaya vigyayam tamasaha paramashnute. So before the things begin, now comes some discussion of Guru Tattva. Or what we said, I ended up saying in the beginning that the main topic for today will be Guru-Shishya sambandha. But looks like that's not going to fully occur today. I prematurely declared it in the beginning, but we may not be able to complete that discussion. So, Kachid Gurukule Vasam, when we were in the Gurukul Vas, jab Gurukul Vas karte the, when we were in the Gurukula. Brahman, Smarasi, my dear Brahman. Sudāmā-ji is Brahman. Krishna is not Brahman by any angle. Either he is Vaishya or Kshatriya, depending on who you consider, whichever angle, but not Brahman. So Brahman is only Sudāmā-ji. Smarasi, now yataha, do you remember that time? Vijo vigyaya vigyayam. So, when we were in the Gurukula, and what were we doing in the Gurukul? The main purpose of Gurukul is this. So purpose of Gurukul is to where a Brahmana dvijo vigyaya vigyayam, that where one understands the actual thing to be understood. Okay, so vigyaya means to understand. Vigyayam from 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you remember? Jnana and Gyaya. There were three pairs. Anybody remembers the three pairs? Purusha Prakriti, Kshetra Kshetragya, and Jnana Gyaya. ठीक है ना? So same thing, Jnana Gyaya. So Vigyaya means to know, the Gyaya which is to be known. And that Jnana is not just material Jnana. What does that Jnana do? Not how to become a good person or moral education in material life, how to be materially successful, how to go to Swarga. Not that. Tamasaha param ashnute. Tamas ko par karna hai. And what is tamas? Everything that is asat is tamas. And what is asat? This material world is asat, which means temporary. So that knowledge is the highest. Which knowledge is the highest? Which takes you beyond tamas. Tamasaha param ashnute. So this is the purpose of Gurukul, not for material education. All the education systems today are material education systems. But in our times, Vedic times, the main education was spiritual. So not for material success, but for spiritual success. So Sri Krishna is just, is like being a little more philosophical here. All the fun things, the friendship talk is yet to come. So, okay. Translation. Maybe we can read here from the room. You can do.
Translation. My dear Brahmana, do you remember how we lived together in our spiritual master school? When a twice-born student has learned from his guru all that is to be learned, he can enjoy spiritual life, which lies beyond all ignorance.
Okay. Now 32. Very important verse. Philosophically, sorry, friendship talk again. Pushing out, but now Guru Tattva, Guru Shishya Sambandha. So that is coming up. Okay, so this is the one of the primary verses of Guru Shishya Sambandha. Savai sat karmanam sakshat dvijate iha sambhavaha adyo anga yatra ashraminam yathaham jnana do guruhu. So what is being described here? Savai sat karmanam sakshat. So three levels of gurus are being described in this verse. Okay, three levels. So first, the second level is being described. Then first level. And then in these two, sorry, then the, not first level, third level. And the first level. So almost more or less, there are some spillover words into the next line. Okay. Savai sat karmanam sakshat. One who provides sat karmanam, the instruction about good activities in one's life. Okay. So what are some of the activities that one should do, should not do? So all those things for, you can say, for material and spiritual, but mostly material success. Okay. And this is the guru which dvijater, which makes you a Brahmana. So which means one who gives the diksha mantra at Upanayana. Okay. So in traditional times, everybody, at least all the males, boys used to undergo Upanayan ceremony. Especially the Brahmanas, but even the Kshatriyas, Vaishyas also. And a Kuluguru, family priest, would give the mantra, and that person would be considered Dikshit. So every day, 3 times, he has to chant the mantras. It would include Gayatri mantra and some other mantras according to the lineage or whatever the, the system they are following. So that is the second level. Okay, now we also do that in our society, but that is the difference. There is a difference. Okay, this is when one doesn't understand the purpose, or one does it just like, okay, it has to be done, everybody is doing it, parents are saying you should do, my brother did it, my cousins did it, I will also do. So it's more like, okay, you're flowing with the flow without fully understanding why you are doing what you are doing. You're just kind of following the crowd. Okay. Then other one is sambhavaha adyo. That means sambhavaha means to give birth. Adi, the first guru, is the one who gives birth. So who is the second guru we discussed? The guru who gives diksha mantra. The first one is parents, those who give birth. So they are also gurus. They teach you how to be a good person. So parents are expected to teach that. And most parents do. Most parents teach how to be a good person. Second one is who gives diksha mantra. But the third one is yatra ashraminam. And this whole thing is within the varnashram system. So varnashram is being described because Sudāmā ji is in varnashram. Even Krishna is in varnashram. Again, they are also, both of them are in varnashram for namesake, isn't it? Anybody is getting excessively disturbed? You can focus here. Okay. And for the ashraminam, yathaham jnana do guruhu. So yathaham is a very important word. We will come to it. Jnana do guruhu. One who do, matlab deta hai jnana. That person who actually gives spiritual knowledge. Now, giving diksha is supposed to mean to give spiritual knowledge, but it may not mean that. It may be just a with the flow kind of thing. Chalo, en masse diksha, and you are just following the crowd. But has one actually received spiritual knowledge from the guru? That is very important to realize. Am I receiving the spiritual knowledge? And that guru is the third one who gives spiritual knowledge. And we will see in the next several verses, if we get to it today or next time, that this is not just giving spiritual knowledge, means not just pointing to, okay, here is Bhagavad Gita, read it, or point, okay, you can go do this Bhakti Shastri over there. Okay, so you do Bhakti Shastri, now you get good marks in Bhagavad Gita. Not also that. Or just giving like one-way classes, I would say. It has to be, you will see now this is being called as the Gurukul system. Gurukul means you're actually going and living there. You're leaving your home and living there with the Guru. And Gurukul will not have 1,000, people, 1,000 students. Today, gurus may have thousands of disciples. Gurukul is very limited to, very few, like 5, 10 students, where the guru can give proper time to the disciple, really, and get into their lives. And the disciples are also in the lives of the Guru. So that is the level of instruction that is being discussed in the third level. So, and then, so in our, you can say that, so first level is Mata Pita. Second level is Diksha Guru. And what is called as the third one who really gives jnana is called as Bhajan Guru. One who gives instructions about your personal bhajan. How to make progress, spiritual progress, by instructing you step by step and correcting you like a coach. If you see the topmost cricket players, they will have one-to-one coach. There is no classroom where you do coaching. Classroom coaching happens for IIT or this or that, 400, 500 these days, even 1,000 people sit. So that's just to make money. One-on-one. Mentorship. One-on-one. And of course, Shiksha Guru, and best is if Diksha Guru is playing that role. That is the best. There is no absolutely, in fact, that is the best. But there has to be that very closed, not closed, but close guidance being provided. That is very important. And that is what is being called as Jnanado Guru. And Yatha Aham. He is to be considered just like me. Bhagwan is saying. Such a Guru is no different from me. That is why in our Shastra or so many places you say we have to consider Guru as good as Bhagwan. You must have heard that in many of the purports and many other places. So that is such a Guru who is providing this level of instruction which actually transforms the heart of the disciple. So this is the meaning here. And then in the next verse, I think there is a very important word, śuśrūṣayā. Yeah, it's coming in two more verses, 34th verse. So we will discuss more what is the meaning. In the meantime, you can try and remember where the word śuśrūṣayā comes. Anybody remembers? So you can remember, try to recall. Very important. Okay. So let's see. Somebody can read the next translation. Mataji, can you?
His first spiritual master.
So that's number one.
And this helps know of him of all the spiritual movement of society is one the master. He is this
as good as my own self. Okay, yatha aham. He is just like me. Yatha aham. Okay, so these are the three levels of gurus that are. So first, in the guru-shishya sambandha, we have to understand who is a guru and what are the various functions. This idea will be developed more in the next couple of verses. So 33. Nanvarthako vida brahman varnashram vatamiha ye maya guruna vacha tarantya angyo bhavarnavam. So Nanva Artha Kovida Brahman. Kovida means to know, or those who know. Very clearly. Kovida. Kovida. Vid means to know. Kovid means the best knowers. Those who know nicely. Artha, the meaning of, or they're not meaning, sorry. Artha means their welfare. Artha, like dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So that artha, that they know what they want. What's my real wealth? So those who know that, in this world, varnashrama vatamiha, in this world which is based on varnashram. So this is a very nice discussion on varnashrama, how to be a grihastha, but yet make spiritual progress, which is what Sudāmā ji was. Who are such people? Ye maya guruna vacha. So this verse, so in the previous verse, we discussed 3 types of gurus, correct? This is describing the 4th guru. Who is the 4th guru? What is the name given to that? Chaitya Guru. Chaitya Guru, or the Guru in the heart, or Paramatma. Again, you will see Aishwarya. Bhagavan is saying directly to Sudāmā, I am the Paramatma. So you will say Maya, ye Maya Guruna Vacha, that the words who I as the Guru speak, the words spoken by me as the Guru, Taranti Anjo Bhavarnavam. Bhava Arnavam. Bhava means Bhavasagar, this material ocean. Arnavam means the ocean of material distress. So, Taranti, they cross this Bhavarnavam, this Bhavasagar. So, there is another Guru in this world, and those who know who are really interested in their welfare, follow the advice of Paramatma within the heart. So the meaning is that if you don't have any of the previous 3 gurus, then you always have the 4th guru. Everybody has the 4th guru. But the problem is that it is harder to access. How do you know whether something is coming from Paramatma or some imagination? So it is very hard to access. That's why the word sakshat was used here. If I didn't focus on that, but you will see sakshat. All these gurus are sakshat. They are present in physical form. So they are outside. This guru is not sakshat. He is inside. And therefore he is not as easy to understand. That is the problem. But if we ask very deeply enough, then the guru will also, this guru will give the strength to differentiate the imagination from the real answer. What we say in science, differentiate the signal from the noise. In so much noise, the signal is lost, the actual signal. So you have to have very good filters to filter out the noise and pick up the correct signal. So that knowledge or that ability also is given by the Chaitya Guru itself, but that takes more effort and more surrender. Okay. So that is the meaning. So again, this is also Guru Tattva. Okay. Mataji, aap padh lijiye. Okay. So basically the point is there is a 4th Guru, which is Chaitya Guru, which is none other than Sri Krishna. Okay. Now comes very important verse, 34th. Again, very important. More important than 32. Remember, I wrote very important over here. This one is more important. So this is also more important, more. Okay. So Bhagavan is saying how to satisfy this Chaitya Guru. Now, this assumes you have at least one or more of the other gurus. The best one being your bhajan guru, one who is actually providing guidance for your spiritual progress in a very sort of a intimate or a very close connection manner. So, what pleases Bhagavan the most? Naham ijja prajatibhyam tapaso shamena va tapaso pashamena va tushyeyam sarva bhutatma guru śuśrūṣayā yatha. This is the key word here in this whole verse. Guru śuśrūṣayā. Naham ijja, so na aham. Na aham tushyeyam. What is tushyati? Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So tushyanti means completely satisfied. So what is Bhagavan saying? Again, Aishwarya. Bhagavan is not hiding his godliness. The assumption is that the purpose is to satisfy Sri Krishna. So he's saying, I am not satisfied. Na aham tushyeyam. I am not satisfied by who? By those who simply do my worship. Okay? Or prajatibhyam. Prajatibhyam is written as initiation in the translation, if you see. So by ritual worship, this is ijya. Brahminical initiation. That is the meaning of prajatibhyam. But the real meaning of prajatibhyam is to by Vedic study. Okay, because Vedic study, Vedas. Now you might have heard only a Brahmana is supposed to read the Vedas. Non-Brahmanas are not supposed to. They can read Puranas. They can read all the other things, but the Vedas are supposed to be exclusive for the Brahmanas. You're not supposed to recite Vedic mantras and all unless one has got Brahman initiation. So in that sense, it is correct by Brahminical initiation, but the real meaning is by Vedic study. So that's the meaning, that is beside the point. Okay. Now this is again, you might have read this in Bhagavad Gita, that Bhagavan is not satisfied by charity, by dan, tapa, or one of the things there also is by Vedic study. What's the word that is used in Bhagavad Gita? I think Swadhyaya or it's in the 11th chapter, for example. You cannot see this form by doing these things. It can only be seen by bhakti. Okay, so I forget what's for the Vedic study also. Then tapasa, by tapaha, tapa is there. Then upashama. Upasham means sense control, by being very detached from the material world and not letting your senses va. So all of these things do not satisfy me, Bhagavan is saying. By me, who is Sarva Bhutatma. Me means who is me? I am the Paramatma, that Guru. So if you want to get, or if you want to satisfy that Guru, so once, if you have a Diksha Guru or Bhajan Guru, it doesn't mean you forget your Chaitya Guru, right? Chaitya Guru is always there, isn't it? So satisfying the Chaitya Guru is also, even if you have a Guru, then that Guru is giving you guidance. Then what is your relationship with Chaitya Guru? The relationship with Chaitya Guru is to satisfy him. And that is what Sri Krishna is saying here. Sarva Bhutatma. Na aham tushyeyam. I am not satisfied as the Paramatma in your heart by these things. How do you satisfy Chaitya Guru? Guru śuśrūṣayā yatha. By serving your external Guru. You serve, that's the stand. We'll go into this little more. by service rendered to that external. You serve the external guru, your duty towards Chaitya Guru is completed. All right? Are you understanding the point being made? Chaitya Guru doesn't disappear. His function is not limited to when you don't have external guru. You still have to serve the internal guru. How do you serve the internal guru? By serving the external guru. Then the internal guru is completely satisfied. So, Guru śuśrūṣayā yatha. So, by doing śuśrūṣayā. This is a very, very, very important word because the standard meaning is given service rendered. Now, that's not a wrong meaning, but one has to understand what is the meaning of service rendered. Śuśrūṣayā, where it comes. Anybody remembered? Very important verse.
Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam, where? Which verse?
First canto, first chapter, second verse.
Second verse. 112.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I think so.
All right. That's a very, very, very important verse itself. So let me open that. How it starts? Progita mo vatsaraṇam satam vedyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam. Yes, last line. Trayonmūlanam Śrīmad-Bhāgavate Mahamuni Krite Kim va parai Ishvara Sadyo hridyavaruddhyate sakritibhi śuśrūṣubhishtakshanāt. Very nice, very nice. I was not referring to this one, even though this is a super duper significant verse. Any other verse? Very nice. Nectar of instruction. So that's the one I was also having in mind, because that's where the meaning of śuśrūṣayā is becoming very prominently, that word has been very prominently placed. So please, we can recite this verse. This is in Brahma Samhita meter, Vasanta Tilakam. Together? Okay. Krishne yasya giritam manasatriyeta dikshasti chet pranatibhishcha bhajantam sham śuśrūṣayā bhajana vigyamananyamanya nindādishunya hridamīpsita sangalabdhya. All right, so the word here is śuśrūṣayā. So what is the meaning here? Now, depending on the commentaries, but typically most of the commentaries have 3 levels of devotees mentioned in this verse. First is Giritam, Krishna. Giri means on the tongue. Tam means on their tongue. Whose name is there? Krishna iti. That's it. Krishneti yasya, jinke giri par, जिनकी जवान पर या जिनके जिह्वा पर कृष्ण का नाम है. That's it. उनके लिए what you have to do? Manasa adriyeta. In your mind, you give them respect. So this is describing how one should relate to the various types of devotees. Then second type is bhajantam isham. Okay, and who have received diksha. So those people who are little more than just having Krishna on their tongue, they have taken diksha, and not just diksha, not that kul guru type diksha. Actual diksha where they are doing bhajantam isham. They are doing their bhajan of Bhagavan. To such people, what you should do? Pranatibhis means do pranam, which means it's an external act and you bow down, pay obeisances, not just in the mind. Second level. Third level is this person who is having so many qualities. What are some of the qualities? Bhajana vigyam. Not only he is doing bhajana, but he is an bhajana vigya. Vigya means expert. He's an expert in doing bhajan. Point number 1. Second point is ananya anya nindadi shunya hridam. In his heart, there is, for anybody, ananyanya, for anybody, there is no ninda in his heart. There is no malice, no criticism. His heart is completely pure and clean. To such a person, you should do 2 things towards. So what is this verse showing? A category of a person and what you should do. So one who has Krishna on his tongue, what you should do? Respect how? Mentally. For one who is dikshit and is doing bhajan, what you should do? Offer pranams. And for one who is bhajan vigya and ananya anya hridam nindadi shunya hridam, what you should do? Śuśrūṣayā. And śuśrūṣayā ke aage another thing has been added, sangalabdhya. Go and associate with him. Labdha means to get, or to aspire for, to aim for, to desire for. To desire for their sangha. And not just sangha sitting in class. And then, that's almost like sitting in a YouTube class. This is not much different. So Gurukul is not just about sitting in the class, right? And the clear example will come where they are sent to collect wood. So there is an element of constant association and constant sewa. And we are over time now, so we'll cover this next time. It's not just one way. This is very, very important. Extremely important. This will come toward the end of this chapter. So first they go and do, I'm giving a little bit of a preview of the next section. Or not, it's the same section. I was somehow in my delusion. I was thinking we'll finish it all today. But it's not just about the, so one is to sit and get jnana. That can be done in the class. Also, pariprashnena, asking questions can also be done. Pranipata means to approach humbly. Pariprashna, sevaya, Bhagavad Gita 4.34, right? Tadvidhi pranipatena, pariprashnena sevaya, upadekshanti te jnanam. Sabko yaad hai. So, pariprashnena sevaya. So seva is also there in that, which is also here śuśrūṣayā. We'll discuss that and we'll stop. So seva aspect, but also the aspect of the care of the guru towards the disciple is there. So in Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu, we discussed this relationship between guru and shishya has 3 elements. What are the 3 elements? Anybody remembers the 3 elements? Sajatiya, snigdha. So that's the one I'm talking about. And the third one is svato vare, means that he is more learned than you. Otherwise, the water will flow like other direction. He got to be more learned than you are. That's when knowledge will flow down. Otherwise, what's the point? So snigdha means affection needs to be there. It should not be just dry and okay, came, sat, gave class, left. And you will see here in those who have read the chapter, you will see how the heart of Sandipani Muni was so pained when he realized that, these boys were stuck in the thunder. He was so and he referred to them as putra. They were not his putra. So there was that deep affection in the heart of, and you cannot have that for 1,000 people. This whole system is like very close-knit system, the Guru-Shishya system. It has to be very close. I mean, those are the things being pointed to. It's not just a title in a relationship. Okay, yeah, title, check, I have Guru. So, I mean, it's not wrong to have it that way, but if you really want progress in your spiritual life, find somebody, find a Shiksha Guru who will give you that guidance. And it's hard. It's not going to be easy. First of all, the desire itself is not there in 99% of the people. Those who have taken to the spiritual path, within that. And then to find such a person. Now you may find, the other person may not accept. We have the examples of Narottam Das Thakur. Kitne papad belne pade the. If you know the biography of Narottam Das Thakur, how much he had to struggle. Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, they both pretty much said, if you don't accept me, I will give up my life right now. You will be responsible. It will be on your watch. That is when they melted. Another example coming to my mind, just recently I was reading. Oh yeah, can't name it here. Okay. So, yeah, so it is hard. It is definitely hard to get such a person, all these things to match. First of all, he has to be bhajan avigya and satisfy this ananya anya nindadi sunya hrida. Very, very, first of all, high bar. And how do you detect that it is there? Bhajan avigya means, okay, fine, he has written 20 books. Okay, fine, at least now you don't know what's going on, but okay. And then how do you know what's in the heart? So that you know what's in the heart when you have close association, when you have little informal sit down, like you say, many times we say in the office, oh, this is not a conference room discussion. This is, we'll discuss over, they say, I'm not promoting beer, but we'll discuss this over a beer, they say, right? Means those are the inside, or discuss it over dinner, make it more sattvic. Those are the, when you really get to know the person, their thoughts, their mood. So that has to happen. And that care also develops in the heart of the Guru for the disciple. So all that will come up. So all this is very important. So śuśrūṣayā. So we'll end here with the definition of, or the meaning of śuśrūṣayā. So there are 5 meanings of śuśrūṣayā. Okay? Or not 5 meanings, 5 aspects of śuśrūṣayā towards a Guru. So what are the 5? First, desirous hearing. Not just hearing, chalo, like, you go to class in the university. Oh my God, attendance. I have to attend the next 3 out of 5 classes. Then my attendance requirement will be met. So I will miss this one and this one. Unfortunately, these 3 I have to attend, right? To meet my attendance requirement. My son is doing that right now. He's doing all these calculations there. It's maybe his last semester. So, he's doing all those, mathematical calculations, exactly which classes I have to attend and which ones I can miss so that I don't get flagged. That's not desirous hearing. It's hardly desirous hearing, right? Yeah, he's deep into senioritis. Senioritis, suna? नहीं सुना? Senioritis? हाँ? आपने तो सुना होगा. आप तो यहाँ पढ़ी हैं, नहीं? Senioritis means you haven't heard. So like here we have like 4 years, right? Freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. It's like itis is like a disease, right? Arthritis. What are some of the other diseases which end in itis, Mataji? Uveitis. What else? Can you name? Anybody can name a few diseases which end with itis? Meningitis.
Conjunctivitis.
हाँ?
Conjunctivitis.
हाँ, और कौन सा है? एक दो और. Anyway, so like that, senioritis means in the senior year you get this disease that I don't want to study. First 3 years you study hard because all the decisions happen on your grade report of the first 3 years. If you are looking to do PhD after that, then because your 4th year is still ongoing, so the decisions are made on the transcript of the first 3 years, and you get all your job interviews. So if you get a job in the beginning of your fall semester of your last year, senioritis is in full swing. Then, okay, I don't care. I have a job. I should just not fail. That's it. As long as I pass with a C grade, then that's enough. That's not, okay, coming back, that's not desirous hearing. Okay, that's hardly desirous hearing. Then, even though if the hearing is desirous, so you had a desire, but even if the topic is apparently not of interest to you, okay, let's say, but you don't know that it's not of interest to you right now. Everything connects. Later on, you will say, oh, I'm glad I attended that topic very nicely. It's helpful now to understand this one. So the second one is attentive hearing. Okay, so attentive hearing to the Guru. First, there should be a desire to hear. I really want to hear every word from the mouth of the Guru. I don't know when the Guru will leave. And after great crying and praying, I have found this Guru. And I don't know how much time is left. Typically when he will leave, because they may be very old, whatever may be the situation. So I must get everything possible from the Guru for my life. My life depends on it. So that is the desirous hearing. Then attentive hearing, listening like every word and trying to analyze and just, pack it in your heart. Every word that he's saying has such strong meaning. I want to understand it. He may be saying it cryptically or encoded. Let me, decompress it and understand it. That is attentive hearing. So this is pariprashnena. Okay. Approaching pranipat has already occurred. That's when you got the Guru. He said yes, you said yes, yes and yes happened. Okay. Now pariprashna. So this is the pariprashna aspect. The remaining 3, not 4, 3, 4 and 5 are sevaya. Being obedient, which means that agreeing to or not asking, or not asking. Asking is encouraged, not ignoring the instructions. In Intel, we used to have a thing, disagree and commit. Or even if you don't agree, I mean, that's a kind of a watered down version of, but obedient. You commit to what the Guru is saying. You actually follow the instructions. Okay. So following the instructions. So this may mean instructions for your benefit. So you had a desire, you heard, but what's the point of not following? So this is kind of in the middle of the two, pariprashna and seva. The Guru is not pleased till the first 3 happens. To please the Guru, you must follow the instructions. The best remuneration to the Guru is to follow his instructions. Not money, not some butter up, saying nice words, not some makhan marke, flattery or not such things. Following the instructions is the single most important way to please the Guru, because he is putting his life and soul into your sweat and blood into giving the instructions. If you follow, that's very satisfying. Then the fourth thing is attending to the Guru. This is direct service to the Guru. Looking after his welfare, his pleasure, whatever he needs before. And there are 3 levels of a Guru Shishya. Now we are going into that Guru Shishya sambandha. Third level is when Guru has to ask twice. Kind of pretty shameful. First time he asked, you didn't do, you forgot, you delayed. Then he has to follow up. I asked you, what's the status? Please tell me. So that's third category of attending to the Guru. Second category of attending is obvious. Once he says, you do. Now, what is the first category? Without even asking, you understand the mood of the Guru and you do it. Now, first 2 or 3 times the Guru may say, hey, what are you doing? Can you not, like, it may appear, or he may say it's interfering. So you have to understand the mood, and then the Guru will be very happy that you did it without even asking. That is attending. Attending to the needs of the Guru. Like, in some very, prime minister or president, like personal secretary, they will know what needs to be done. Sometimes you'll see, he may ask, I need that file. Yeah, right, I was just getting it for you. They know what's in the mind of the person. So that is attending. And the fifth one is very nice, which is just waiting. Just waiting. There is this famous poem by, who is that blind poet? John Milton? Huh? English poet John Milton, or you can look up in your, anyway, not now, if you want. The last line of that poem is, they also serve who stand and wait. Very inspiring line. They also serve who stand and wait. That's also service, just standing and waiting. Like Hanumanji always, you will see in Ram Darbar, what is Hanumanji doing? Do you think he's relaxing like Ram, Lakshman, Sita? They are not relaxing, they are having a good time. So you can think Hanumanji is also having a good time. He's not killing any demons or he's not doing anything, but is he serving in that moment? Yes. Because he is waiting, is ready to do service. One word from Sri Ram and he will spring into action. So these are the 5 aspects of śuśrūṣayā. And a lot can be said about śuśrūṣayā in this, in the Upadesamrta series by Hari Parshad Prabhu. Obviously, we recited that verse from Upadesamrta. He has discussed in great detail about śuśrūṣayā. So that is what is mentioned in the Bhagavatam, Guru śuśrūṣayā yatha. That nothing pleases me more, Bhagavan is saying, than serving, or than not serving. Again, serving is one part, śuśrūṣa of Guru. Okay, so that is, we'll stop here at 34. Lot can be said about śuśrūṣayā, how to serve the Guru. But please remember, for that, first the opportunity should be there, the pranipat should be there. If that is not there, how will one serve? And it's not about serving, once in 5 years for one day. This is more long-term, more close-knit. So that's the secret of making very good, rapid progress, high quality, rapid progress in bhakti. To find such a person and to accept them as their Guru and to do śuśrūṣayā. Okay. So we'll read the translation and then we will end. Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu.
I, the soul of all beings, am not as satisfied by ritual worship, Brahmanical initiation, penances, or self-discipline as I am by faithful service rendered to one's ritual.
Okay. Any comments or questions or corrections?
One quick question. So rendering service to one spiritual master, is it like bhajan?
Yes, to that one.
Bhajan.
Yes. Very well, he should. And I mean, the ideal case is if there is the same person as if the bhajan guru is the diksha guru or the diksha guru is the bhajan guru. But if that is not possible, then find somebody who can play the perfect role of bhajan guru, because without that, regardless of who that person is, not regardless, he has to be sajatiya, snigdha, svatovare, but without that, it's extremely hard to make high quality and quick. And quick is important because our life is so short. Even though you may be, in your 20s, but still it is short. It needs time. I was hearing one of the lecture by a great saint. We say Naam has, someday we'll do some very detailed 10-20 part seminar on Naam Tattva. There is so much on Naam Tattva. And one of the aspect of Naam Tattva, now we are all doing Naam, Bhajan, correct? Chanting, Japa, everyone doing. How many of you are seeing all the promised effects of Naam? Tell me. Who has seen? Nobody is raising hand. So either you don't know the effect of Naam or you have not seen the effect of Naam. Either way, it is a problem. Okay. So why? Answer is because it takes time, even if done with high quality. And I have heard numbers like 20, 30, 40, 50 years. अब आप सोच लीजिए. Even if you are 20 and suppose you're not having some past life, to accelerate you don't have that accumulated balance. You're trying to accumulate all the balance in this life. Maybe it is 50 years that puts you in 70. It takes time for the effect of Naam to manifest, though it is very short. That itself is a very tricky thing to understand. How is 50 years so short? And there we see the example of that needle piercing through 1,000 petals. All of you make garlands. Let's say you put 1,000 petals together. How long it takes for a needle to pierce it? A sharp needle? Instant, you said, right? But if you think about it, 1,000 needles. So in that way, 1,000 petals. In that sense, you can say, oh, it's a lot. So there is a philosophical concept again going into Naam Tattva. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Yes, Mataji and
you commented, right, that Krishna usually don't give until and unless asked.
Yes, that is speciality of Krishna.
Examples in both sides. We see where people did not ask and Krishna was there to help them. And in some cases we question why didn't Krishna help them without asking? So how can we understand that? Like example of Draupadi Mata. In that we ask ourselves why didn't Krishna help without asking? And in the same scenario in case of Pandavas, Krishna helped without even when the Brahmastra was coming, Krishna helped without even asking them. And here also
Brahmastra for Parikshit Maharaj?
No, the 5 Brahmastra later, when the 5 Pandavas were struck, that time Krishna just helped them. Similarly, here Krishna helped the
second Brahmastra of Ashwatthama.
Yes.
When he told Arjun to counteract it.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was the first one.
Then the second one was for Parikshit.
Second one, and then there were other 5 Brahmastras later.
Parikshit Maharaj was one.
Yes. So it looks like there was around 7 Brahmastra he
Anyway,
Yeah.
okay.
So the point was even in this case, basically.
So there may be situations where Krishna protects the devotees even without asking. But in case of Uttara, she went and asked Sri Krishna to protect her child. There are those, you were actually saying about speaking on those verses, right? The Uttara, Mother Uttara's prayers. So there may be situations, but many situations we see where Krishna, in Draupadi's famous case of her Vastraharana, she had to call to Bhagwan for him to come. Otherwise, he could have come earlier.
Quality of asking, or is there any quality of a devotee in which case Krishna decides that in this case I will help, in this case I'll have, they will have to ask?
All these are materially, this is all we are talking about, material help, right? Protecting the chastity of Draupadi, protecting the life of Parikshit Maharaj, protecting, all these are material things. What Krishna says when he says Yoga Kshema Vahamyaham is all about spiritual. So without asking, he will protect your spiritual, your spiritual progress. So that Krishna, you don't have to ask. Even if, let us say, Draupadi was, if Dushasan was successful, the bhakti of Draupadi would have remained intact. What is the, think about it. Even if if Dushasan was successful, okay, it would have been like very, very severe, but it was already very severe. I don't think it would add much to the severity of the situation. So protecting the physical aspects, the devotees are not concerned about that at all. Look at, for example, the sons of Draupadi. I don't know, as a parent, I would say, you can insult me or you can disrobe me also. I'm be happier. Don't take the life of my child. माँ बाप बच्चों के लिए कुछ भी कर सकते हैं ना. So there Krishna did not protect for sons of Draupadi. Basic point I'm trying to say is, Bhagwan, for the pure devotees who we are saying whether Krishna protects or not, he protects the most important thing without asking, which is their bhakti. That he never takes away. It's not in the Bhagavatam, but in other readings of the Sudāmā pastime, for example, when he took the portion of Sri Krishna, I studied the only place I think it is there in where it is mentioned that he took the share of Sri Krishna, which they had been given for as a snack, was in Sri Surdas Ji's Dohas. It's not there in any of our Gaudiya Vaishnava commentaries, and it's not there in Bhagavatam Mool either. So there, taking the other person's share is considered to invite Daridrata. If you take somebody else's share, then you will have to suffer with poverty. So Sri Krishna, when he discovers that he has eaten my share, because he says, give me my snack. Sorry. I was so hungry, I didn't realize when it got over. Once we were discussing that day, no? Yeah. Rukta hi nahi. What's that? Lays. You cannot have just one. He kept eating. And he finished the whole snack. It was so tasty. So then Bhagwan said that, so now you'll have to face poverty in your life. Then Sudāmā ji, it seems apparently replied, no problem. I'm so happy that is the only consequence. What I would request kindly is that your bhakti may never go from my heart. Bhagwan says that is intact. Sudāmā ji said, no problem. No problem at all. So that would be my initial response. I will think more about it.
Is it okay to understand from this discussion that Krishna may help materially or not help materially to increase the spirituality of the other person?
Yeah, for those who need that increase through this material tribulation, for them it is, but for others it may not even matter. It's irrelevant. Completely irrelevant it could be. Not all pure devotees need material reminders to increase their bhakti. They are already in bliss. Material things are like in front of a lion, you know, whether you send a weak deer or a strong deer. For the lion, it is both are equally weak. He doesn't care. It's not to test the strength of the lion. Lion's strength cannot be tested in that way. He is sure to win. So for a pure devotee, doesn't need such material things. Of course, yes, Kunti Devi prays and all that, but that is all there too for our to set our to instruct us. Yeah. Yes, Mataji. The significance of which word? Yeah, dharma-jña. So, yeah, so the what I meant to say is that you know dharma. I might have said that this is significant, and I explained the reason also, but I didn't connect the two. That is, I am saying that to demonstrate why this is significant, is that you are dharma-jña, you know the dharma. After your dakshina is over, bhavata labdha dakshina, now you have become in that napumsak stage. So enter into next ashram. So dharma says you should not remain anashrami. So after leaving one ashram, you must immediately join the next ashram. So you are dharma-jña, you know this dharma. So did you join the next ashram or not? Yeah. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I didn't make that connection because I forgot to mention that whole point and I later mentioned it, but okay. Anything else? Yes.
Context where to Sudāmā and Krishna, so like even for devotees, they say that Krishna knows our heart. We don't have to ask anything. He will see whatever is best for us.
He will see, yeah. Okay, so the question is, should we ask from Sri Krishna or should we not ask? And yeah, whenever Sri Krishna gives, this we covered in Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu to some extent. We'll cover again. Everything that Sri Krishna gives or restricts is to increase our bhakti. So for many beginners, but they are performing Uttama Bhakti, which means in their desire, they really have in their heart, they have the desire to do Anya Bhilashita Shunyam. But Sri Krishna sees that if I give him this material thing, it will increase his bhakti. So he will give those material things which help in increasing the devotee's bhakti, but no more. And there is no need to ask. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but if the devotee asks, Krishna will give also. If the devotee asks, Krishna knows that he is asking, and Sudama's case is very clear. Some material thing will definitely be helpful for their family. They have been going on, but right now, from the beginning of the chapter, we see the water was it was getting intolerable. His wife was also a very good devotee. You were there for those? Yes, this refers to material things. Yes. Yes. Krishna never gives anything material without asking. ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajami aham. So tams tathaiva artha dadami aham. No, bhajami aham. So that is to the extent our surrender, Bhagwan gives us bhakti. But for a devotee, Bhagwan will give something material also, as long as it enhances or improves our bhakti. No need to ask, but if a devotee asks also, still he will give only how much ever is. But if a devotee then becomes in the heart, there is some material desires come up. No, I really want it. Bhagwan gives that easily. That is the thing which he says in the other verse in the 5th canto. I don't remember the exact number. It's there in Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu. That this is in the Sudurlabha portion of Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu. That where he says that I give material things very easily if somebody asks. I can even give moksha very easily, but I don't give bhakti easily. So that is only to shoo them away. Chalo. Okay, get lost. Don't waste my time. Don't interfere in my interactions with other bhaktas. Take whatever you want. Take bhakti, take moksha, take wealth, and leave me alone. So he can give. There are nuances.
Very complicated. Who is asking for
Hmm? No, somebody is not asking for bhakti. One is asking for material things. And then Sri Krishna says, yes, happily take material thing. He knows your heart that you don't want bhakti. You want this material thing. Bhakti you are doing only from external. This is the 2 reasons why bhakti is sudurlabha. If you remember, you have done. One is where you are doing with anasakti, not with attachment. So externally you are doing bhakti, inside you have a hidden agenda. Bhagwan will easily fulfill your hidden agenda and say, bhai chalo. And anyway, you will also leave because your hidden agenda is fulfilled. So for that reason, bhakti is sudurlabha. Externally, you were performing bhakti, but the result of bhakti didn't happen. But neither did you want it anyway. You had a hidden agenda. So you are also happy, Bhagwan is also happy, win-win situation. Thank you. Okay, we will stop here. Grantharaj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.